ado, we're going to introduce Hector, Brian, and then Michelle. All right. That's okay?
I'm going to be very quick. I'm the peloncito from the other side of the county. What an honor it is to, I have hope. I have hope in our next governor. I have hope in our next auditor. They're my friends. I'm honored to be here as your street fighter. You've elected me as your state representative, now state auditor. We just won the White Peaks case for you. Yeah. We're gonna continue suing Texas for your water and your environmental. And of course, we're gonna do everything we can to fight for all our children in the state of New Mexico. And I can tell you, more than ever, I was one of those kids in trouble at one point, and a single mother and some grandparents. And so I love the families that are in front of us here today. We need a good governor. We need a good state auditor. We need a great court of appeals. We have some phenomenal judicial candidates here. But without further ado, I'm going to bring up a guy who taught me how to raise money and door knock. I didn't learn all my politics from northern New Mexicans. There was a redheaded, freckle-faced law student that I went to school with that's going to be our next state auditor. Let me bring up Brian Colon, our next state auditor.
Woo-hoo! ¡Viva Penasco! ¡Viva Penasco! Dios mío, let me tell you, I'm so excited to be here. The last time I was here, I was a peregrino. I was going through the pilgrimage, and my mera cocinera is here. Where'd she go? Here she is. This is our head cook for the pilgrimage. Look, we have traveled all over the state of New Mexico. Michelle Lujan Grisham has said that we're going to spend 9 days, and we're not going to spend it raising money. We're going to get out there with the plebe. We're going to talk to people in each and every one of our 33 counties. She has personally traveled over 2,600 miles in the roads of New Mexico in the last 9 days. That's the commitment she has. She says these boots are made for walking, baby. If you haven't seen her boots, you got to check those boots out. I said I want a pair of boots just like that, but they shouldn't say MLG on the side. That wouldn't work. Look, we're working hard. We're working hard. My name is Brian Colon. I'm running to be your next state auditor. I'm trying to follow in the distinguished footsteps of our current Attorney General Hector Valderas, and we're going to fight waste, fraud, and abuse and deliver good government to this beautiful county. I'm here to tell you. It is our small communities like Penasco, Vadito, the little Rancho de Taos, the small communities of northern New Mexico. Those are the communities that are going to elect our next governor and Lieutenant Governor Howie Morales and Michelle Lujan. We need your help. Now, let me just close with this. We have a very particular, Mr. Mayor, thank you for being here. You're out of town. What are you doing up here? Look, we are so happy. There you go. Welcome home. So here's the deal. We talk all the time about the importance of our children, no? We talk about the future of our state rests in education. Well, right now we're about to elect some experts in education, because I like to tell people that we have a lieutenant governor nominee who's got a PhD in education. That's how you make education. Howie Morales. And then we talk about respecting and serving our elders, and our gubernatorial candidate is an expert in elder care. She's an expert in healthcare. She's an expert in creating jobs in New Mexico. That's what northern New Mexico needs. We need jobs for our children. So when they go away to go to school, we have a place to bring them home. No, like the multiple generations that have been raised here in Penasco. So we're glad to be here. I couldn't be more humbled than to be on the ticket with the incredible people like Brianna Zamora, like Jackie Medina, who are going to strengthen our Court of Appeals bench. Yeah. Two phenomenal women who are going to be on our bench. But most importantly, we're traveling and people are turning out. They're not turning out to see Pecoso for sure. Now up here they may be turning out to see Peloncito over here. But what they're really turning out to do is to see our next governor of the land of enchantment.
Speaking after Brian Colon. It's the worst. But you know what I think it demonstrates? All of us here, every single candidate, we are clear that we work for you. We want to keep working for you. We want a government that you're proud of, that you believe in, that delivers for you here, that is very clear that we have a responsibility to protect communities just like Penasco. Right?
Yeah.
That means every Lujan, every Acequia, every family, every community member who lives here, we've got to be real partners, and that hasn't happened in a long time. And I want to tell you two quick stories. When I first got elected to Congress, you know, it's a huge competition. You think that you convince your community and your voters, and you get elected, and you're so excited. You get all your new clothes. It's like the first day of school. You shiny up your shoes, and you're just going to go to your office and work hard. Nope. The campaign starts all over. You fight for an office. You fight for staff. You fight for a committee assignment. You're fighting for a pecking order. And so you realize right off the bat that if you lose those contests, right, you're not in the best position to represent the very people who elected you. So it's stressful, all right? And so right out of the bat, right, they want me to be, my community says, you got to be on armed services. We have Kirtland right here. There are too many BRAC requests. We need to know that you're on that committee. And I did. I put in for that committee, but I snuck in another one. I was really interested in the Ag Committee. And I got it. And I fought hard for Ag, right? Because that's who we are. And that is the second largest industry in the state. And it's being challenged, not just by water, but by we don't have any farmers anymore, right? They're all 60 and over, and we've done nothing to invest in making sure that that historical livelihood, which has held up this state, is one of the core aspects of trade, north and south, that we've got to do something about it. So when I got on that committee, I was so excited, and everyone in Albuquerque said, oh no! You're on Ag. What did you do? We don't farm in Albuquerque. We do. Well, they do farm in Albuquerque. And you bet, every valley, North Valley, South Valley, all through Torrance County, Sandoval County, in places all along the river where we created water systems that have held families together and made a difference in jobs in our economy for generations, hundreds and hundreds of years. And if you're along the Pueblo lines, thousands of years. And so I really had to make the case. But now it is really clear that I had an opportunity to fight for New Mexicans statewide, because every single community matters. And now I'm on the conference committee. Let me tell you what that means. Out of 535 members of Congress, there's only 10 of us that get to make a decision about where those resources go. And it's housing, it's farming, it's ranching, it's schools, it's renewable energy, right? It's the kind of investments that really, it's rural economic development, it's all the Main Street programs, it's small communities like this, and for the first time we have language in the Farm Bill that recognizes land grants as government entities for direct payments by the Farm Bill. Don't come to me and testify about water if you don't know what an acequia is. Right on. If you've never heard of an arroyo, you can't come talk to me in Congress. Right? And so that's the attitude, because that changes the dynamics. And I only tell you that story because that's the kind of governor I want to be and will be with your support. That what makes a difference in this state is making sure that no community is ever forgotten again. And whether that's public education or ag or art or tourism, whatever we're doing, or renewable energy, that those investments start here and stay here, so that you are developing a future for your families that's not just 1 year, 4 years, it's 50 or 100 years. In the same way, my grandparents and great-grandparents, my great-grandfather, Mateo Lujan, was the largest sheep rancher in Union County. He was part of the original state constitutional convention. Alongside many of your families, he wrote this state's constitution. That's right. and he went to Congress, and he lobbied for us to be a state. And he's right there, standing right next to President Taft, getting that bill signed so that we became a state in 1912. Right? I mean, these are important, valuable, historical. So I'm from a whole family of little teeny tiny New Mexico fighters. A whole bunch of them. And the second story I want to tell you is that we forget to tell all the good stories. And I know I'm going to miss a million. There are so many incredible things to be proud of right here. But I met an incredible young woman, Isabel Lopez Colbert, who's an incredible doctor and geriatrician, does primary care in Albuquerque. That's right. She grew up right here.
She graduated from our school.
She's
valedictorian.
well, of course. Now she's gonna lob that over my head. All right. She's incredible, and she's changing the way in which we do primary care in Albuquerque, and she's trying to take that back into these northern communities. This is where her heart is. This is where she was married. Right? This is where she wants her grandchildren to be able to come back to. And I want more kids not only to stay in New Mexico, but have a more direct pipeline to their roots in these communities. And with all the challenges that we have, and none of us are Pollyanna about a one of them, whether it's healthcare or education or behavioral health or our drug problems, which were created by state government turning its back. This guy right here, this representative, has passed 300 bills in the last 8 years, 500 at least. How many have been signed into law?
Very few.
5. Not because he's not doing it right, because you have a governor that refused to allow his work, you elected him, to come back into these communities. So Representative, how about this? How about, I love you, if I get elected, you help me. We got 66 days, is that right? Still 65? I can't look at you. He confuses me every day. He does it on purpose. He says days, hours, minutes. I can't do it. I don't even know what day is. It's Sunday, right? Okay. We're having the time of our lives, but it's grueling to campaign, and it should be. Our job is to meet as many New Mexicans and hear their stories and carry them with us in every single community and fight for making a difference every second of every day. But how about this? When you get in a session, everybody, and we keep filing so many bills because we're starving. No infrastructure, no investment. We're not taking care of our hospitals or our community health. Nothing. Our seniors, they destroyed one of the best senior sets of programs in the country. All gone. CYFD, no social workers, all gone. It's not fair to our children. It's not fair to our families. So when you get all those bills introduced at the end, they kind of put them all on a calendar. They call it the consent calendar. And if everybody likes these bills, they move them. What if we did this? What if we did that on the front end? What if every single bill that was passed unanimously or nearly there, that hasn't changed, those needs hasn't changed, that building, that road, that community center, whatever it is, right? That we get those on the front end of the session, you get those upstairs to me, and I'm signing them. Right now, no more waiting. In any single community, I'm impatient.
Better funds for our schools.
Better funds for our schools, better funds for our seniors, better funds, better teachers, pay them, respect them, support them. We've taken out hundreds of millions of dollars out of the schools. We did it on purpose. We did it. This was done to you, right? By a narrow agenda that was aimed to make us distrust government. And I'm running against someone who believes in that same agenda. Take everything away. Government does create jobs. It creates either the investment in you, it stands up for you, it removes those barriers, it's clear that it goes after the resources that you want and you need as a priority, it creates the ecosystem. And when it does not do that, when it doesn't protect your land and your water and your children and your families, things go wrong. And we want to put it all back So in the next 65 days, which seem like a really long time, it's not. It's tomorrow, and I need you to do these three things. I need you to call people. I need you to walk every single neighborhood. I need you to talk to your neighbors. I need you to show up just like this. I need you after church to talk to everybody who went to church and talk to them about the value and the importance of standing up for each other and getting us elected so that we can do more of that. I need you to talk to people at the gas station, at the grocery store. I need you to do it when you go to the senior center. I need you to do it when you're dropping your kids or your grandkids off at school or daycare. We need all of it. And if you will do that, we will win. All right? These races are won and lost in the North. We invented the ground game for good, positive politics. We did. You did. Because you're used to standing up for your family. The strength of this community is the strength shoulder to shoulder. And if you will do that, we're going to win. And all of us, we have a record of success. And when someone tells you that this state can't be number one in education or number one in healthcare or number one in the economy, it's not true. Every incredible thing has happened here. The oldest vineyards in the country are in New Mexico, right? The bluest skies, the Rockies start here. Forget Colorado. We do it better. We've done it longer. Right? We taught them how to do it. We were too nice. Let's not be nice to Colorado anymore. That might be a little too far. Right? But are you proud of this community? Do you love it? Yes. Do you care about it? I do too. Do you believe that New Mexico can lead the entire country from renewable energy to all kinds of incredible value-added ag and related investments in our future? I believe that. I know it. All the governors around us talk about how we stopped leading and they took it from us. And now we're not going to give them any more helping hands. We're going to take care of ourselves. We're going to lead the country in these investments. And we're going to show the rest of the states, by golly, how it's done. Because my money is on New Mexicans and New Mexico. Yep. So are you ready to fight? Oh, yeah.